What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're going to be exploring the San Rafael Swell. Coddiwomple Overland is proudly powered by Cummins Off-road, where you can completely outfit your vehicle and still retain their lifetime powertrain warranty. We're also brought to you in part by Overland Vehicle Systems, Trail Rated Coffee, Skinny Guy Campers, and more Expo. Also, if you're looking for some of our merch, make sure and check out shop.overlandapparel.com. When we left you on the last episode, we had found camp just outside of Cathedral Valley. The next morning we got up and started making our way into Cathedral Valley to check out all the sights there. Today there will be only 2 rigs, as Kelly decided to make his way towards Salt Lake City to pick up some parts for the Power Wagon. The first thing we were going to stop and check out was the Glass Mountain.
It's rough.
Glass Mountain stands about 12 feet high and is composed of large gypsum crystals. These crystals were deposited here from evaporating salt water about 165 million years ago. Now, this gypsum is water soluble, and they say in some amount of time it will dissolve and create a sinkhole. We might see one of those a little bit later. The next things that we wanted to go see were just off in the distance. That's the Temple of the Sun and the Temple of the Moon. The Temple of the Sun and the Temple of the Moon both are monoliths that are made of pink Entrada sandstone and was also formed about 160 million years ago. The Temple of the Sun stands over 400 feet tall. We had one more site that we wanted to check out before we left the Cathedral Valley and started making our way further down into the San Rafael Swell. Our next stop was the gypsum sinkhole. Now, this sinkhole was created by the same thing that the Glass Mountain was made of, and that was the gypsum that was later dissolved by water. It's hard to describe just how enormous this hole is, but I think this next shot will give you a little bit of perspective.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to capture that.
From there it was time to find the Last Chance Road and to make our way towards the San Rafael Swell. As we continued our way north, we continued to find different geological features, such as these sand dunes here. These are called the Mussentuchet sand dunes, and apparently were created by sand blowing off of the plateau. After we left the sand dunes, we continued making our way north, getting closer and closer to I-70. By this point, we had ventured pretty far north, and just north of Emery is where we decided to turn east and make our loop back around into the San Rafael Swell. The particular area that we were in is certainly not as well known as some of the other areas around Moab, and it's definitely not as traveled as some of the other places. We made our way down into a really cool canyon called John McDonald's Hole, and this will be the start of our adventure east over toward the Sid's Mountain Wilderness area. As we made it past the unique rock formations at the east end of the John McDonald Hole, we got closer and closer to the Sid Mountain Wilderness. As we made our way into the Sid's Mountain Wilderness Study Area, we were reminded by this sign that we were in a pretty special place. Most WSAs do not allow motorized recreation, but this one does. There are a few different routes that we could have taken here, but we chose to take the Coal Wash and then the Eva Conover Trail. This area was named after one of the earliest ranchers in the area, Sid Swayze, and his cabin was built around the 1920s and situated within the San Rafael Swell area. The Sid's Mountain Wilderness is also home of Utah's largest herd of bighorn sheep, as well as cougars, raptors, and various other reptiles. After we made our way up out of the Coal Wash, we ventured onto the Eva Conover Trail. According to TrailsOffroad.com, the Eva Conover Trail is a little over 8 miles long and is rated as a moderate, and it also provides some of the best views of the San Rafael Swell. The more you gain in elevation, a little bit more difficult the trail becomes. This is where that moderate rating comes from. There are some shelves here, and it is a little bit narrow. We made it to this section of the trail in the perfect part of the day. The sunlight was just magical against the sandstone rocks.
Slow, coming down.
As we made it out of the Sid's Mountain Wilderness area, we found the perfect place to camp overlooking the bridges on I-70. We hope you've enjoyed this first part of going through the San Rafael Swell with us. We'll continue part 2 on the next episode. You don't want to miss it. It is truly incredible. Let us know what you think about the San Rafael Swell in the comments below. Thanks again for watching Coddiwomple Overland. Until next time, see ya.